Hey everybody, Chocolate Chip here with more videos. Expect more content coming to you quick. Today, I want to highlight something that I've been working on that I think will benefit the DSA community and something that I think has been missing in the community for a long time. If we go into the game, a lot of stuff is really kind of what you expect out of content. You know, you're getting your guides, you're getting your which characters are good, you're getting your how to use the best characters, what team comps work really well together. And I'm not saying that stuff's bad, but I'm saying we're missing a really big part to the DSA community. If you've ever watched Arnold, if you've ever watched Mobile Gamer, you know that they also break down the packs. Like when you go into the store, are you getting the value here? Now, I'm just going to be very upfront. I've ran the numbers, and you're going to see them in a second. And for the most part, what they're asking is much higher than what you would get if you farm it. Basically, I broke it down and said, if you were to farm this stuff, how much would it cost for the energy? And then converted that energy cost into gems. So it costs this much, and then they ask for this much more and makes it cost total this much. Now, why is that an issue? Well, that's saying they think it's worth this much to you, right? In that gap, they say that's how much it is for you to get that right away. Now, without being able to see those numbers, you might be throwing away $50 that, you know, if you think about it, the amount of time it would take is worth the $50, is not worth the $50 to you. Or maybe it is, and that's why you're willing to spend it. But that's why I want you guys to see the numbers and be able to process them. Coming into DSA is everyone's new favorite show, Which Scrooge Are You? Now let's actually go to the breakdown. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is just like the breakdown. You're just going to see exactly what quantity to gems and none of the other background stuff. If you're interested in seeing the background stuff, in the description, there's going to be a link to my Discord where I'll actually have this sheet, the full breakdown, so you can see it. It's not going to be editable to you guys, but you can see it and you'll be able to really get a handle for why I'm giving these things these values. What you'll see, and this will be in the description as well as the link to this sheet specifically. This sheet is going to be the one that actually houses just the main information. You don't have to worry about all the interior calculations I'm doing to get to this value. If you're interested, please join the Discord, chat with me. You can talk about whether or not you think my evaluation is similar to what you think. If you think it should be higher, think it should be lower, I'm always happy to have those discussions. Do it in the Discord, I'm always on. Now, let's look at the actual breakdown. If you look at the Sensational Trio bundle, shown here is what you actually see in the store, and this is the quantity and what you're actually getting out of it. Now, when you look at that and you compare it to what it would be worth for farming, it's actually slightly cheaper if you have VIP, because in VIP you're getting more for your energy refreshes. You're looking at this is a $100 pack, right? That's a ridiculous amount of money. The evaluation that I'm giving it is somewhere between $50 and $60. So that $40 to $50 gap is whether or not it's worth $40, $50 to you to get these characters right away. That's why when Which Scrooge Are You comes, you're gonna get the two Scrooges. You got Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, the one who's never going to spend his money. And then you have Scrooge McDuck, who has more money than you could possibly imagine. And so here's what I want you guys to get out of what I'm showing you. When you go into the game, I want you to be able to say, hey, this is $100, this is what it looks like. Am I willing to spend $40, $50 to get it right now? Because the value of the stuff is somewhere in that $50 to $60 range. Sensational Trio bundle, I'm sorry, but the Sensational Trio bundle is getting a big ol' Ebenezer Scrooge.
You can yell and scream and you're right, but it won't do no good, because I'm the stone you can't squeeze blood from, and that's the truth.
I won't be playing that after every single one, but it's something really fun for me. Now, going down though, Donald Duck bundle. This one is so close to being 30. I actually think that this one's probably worth it, especially since you're getting 80. You're getting a talisman, which that's up to you guys. But unlike a lot of these other packs, it actually includes betas, and it has a pretty high gem count. So for me, this one, on the other hand, is a Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, there's only one thing better than owning a vault full of cold, hard cash, and that's swimming in it.
Again, I'm not going to show that clip every single time, but I think it's fun. It'll show up here and there. Now, when you actually look at the numbers for a lot of these packs, you're going to notice that there's a big gap between most of them. And I think that's because the developers are saying the added value is pretty high, and I'm here to say that for me, unless it's a very slim margin difference, or unless the value is higher, then I really don't think it's worth it. Now, for the most part, a lot of these character bundles are going to be pretty bad values unless you value getting the character right away. Like, if you're the kind of person that wants a 7-star Hercules right away, then a lot of those packs are really just geared towards you. If you just spend here and there, or if you really like a character you're willing to spend, well then, this is where it kind of gets interesting. The added value is in the extra stuff, not just the character tokens. It's how they build the value. But for the most part, a lot of them, I don't think they're worth it. It's a very significant gap, and especially in like a cheaper one, like a Scrooge Pete bundle. I didn't have the Pete bundle shown here, but it was the same as the Scrooge bundle, just with Pete instead of Scrooge McDuck. And it's a $15 pack, and it costs about $10 of value, and so the difference is $5. Now, Scrooge, Pete, they're just not that useful, so it's not really worth it for you to be spending $5 to get that extra to get him right away. Just kind of show you guys, and that's why I want you to be able to use this sheet for. And going forward, I'm just going to have a video where I'm going to break down some of the stuff that I'm seeing, break down a large set of packs, like when we get a character drop, when we get a tower drop. That's when I'll try to highlight where these packs are and where you will be able to actually see some of that added value. But right now going on are a couple of downtown hero bundles. Now these are T7, so you have to have, I don't know, I think you have to be level 60 in order to even see these, or maybe even higher. But if you see them, oh my gosh, this is the closest I've ever gotten to really saying that this is a high value. The Timeless Clock bundle, I don't have a value for the raid only gear. So the tiny gear and the similar ones for all the other factions, I just don't have a value for it. So I'm just not assigning it, because I'd rather give it 0 value than try to say it's worth this much, because it's a drop rate whether or not you're even going to get it, and you have to be able to be in a guild that completes the raids quickly enough that you're going to get a lot of it. So it's really, really dependent on your guild and your drops. It's really hard for me to give it a value. If you want me to get a value for it, I would be happy to have those discussions with people in the Discord. Again, link in the description. That being said, the Timeless Clock bundle, and if you think the tiny gears are worth the extra $8 to $9 in there, maybe it's worth it, but it's slightly too low for me to really think it's worth it. But the Downtown Power bundle is where we start seeing it get very, very close. This one's a very significant push for me, because you're getting 50 of the Timeless Clocks, which is enough to almost craft another T7 gear, while also getting a 4-part T7, and that's a lot of value. So that one's a real push. But I will say the best pack I have ever seen in the game is the Downtown Heroes T7 gear. If you're working on if you are working on your Downtown Heroes, this is by far the best pack I've ever seen, hands down. You are getting $15, $20 almost of extra value compared to just the $50 they're asking for, because the relic itself is worth $15, and then you get 2 of the concrete figures and 2 of the aluminum sculptures, and that's so much value. They added essence to it. I wish all the packs were like this, where you're actually getting a massive steal. If you're in the market for a $50 pack, this is by far the best pack that I've ever seen. And again, I'm not saying that the character tokens are bad, that they're a bad value, but you can farm them. And if you're willing to just take the time to farm them and you're willing to wait a little bit longer, it is so much cheaper. If we just take the Sensational 6 bundle as an example, for instance, the Sensational 6 bundle that's $100 has 4 T4 gear as an added benefit, and that's it. I don't know what Glue's really going at here, but every single one of their character packs, it's mostly just characters with a tiny bit of added value. But the problem is that character tokens are farmable. So the difference you have to make up by saying the amount of time it would take to get these characters is worth this much is significant. Again, $40, $50 at least for the large packs, and then you're even looking at like $20 on a $50 pack. You have to make that decision yourself personally, unless you are really, really, really wanting that character right away. Hercules on day 1, and you're just like, I'm just gonna buy out, spend as much money as I need to, max out the credit card. More power to you. I just don't think that that's a lot of where the added value is. If you're interested in getting the full breakdown, that's a link in the description. Maybe at some point, if enough people are interested, I'll actually break down some of the individual values. But for now, this is kind of where I see it, there's going to be a lot of stuff going forward with this. I'm probably going to try to shoot to have these videos out relatively frequently so you can keep up to date with the best packs that are out there, up to date with everything that's going on, and expect lots of great stuff coming again in the future. And guys, it's important for you to be able to know the difference between what they're asking and what you would get if you're just willing to put in the time. Because it turns out time is money, and that's really what they're charging you for. So, with that said, honestly, I think this going forward is going to be gear worth, character tokens not worth it, unless you're really in the business for getting characters right away. But with that, guys, join the link in the description to join the Discord. I have lots more stuff there and expect lots more stuff coming to YouTube really quick. And with that, I'll see you later.